What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through, much appreciated. I'm just doing loads of videos now because I am playing catch up, right? And this is the fight that I can't wait. I cannot wait for. When's it? December 16th, I think? I can't remember. I think it's the week after Rigondeaux Loma, I think. A fight that takes place in Montreal, Canada. And that's between David Lemieux, obviously the native Canadian. Is David Lemieux? Yeah, he is, I think. And Billy Joe Saunders, the current WBO middleweight champion of the world. Arguably number 4 and 5, I think that's fair to say, in the middleweight division. You would have GGG number 1, and then it's a toss-up between Jacobs and Canelo, 2 and 3, and then Lemieux, Billy Joe Saunders. I think it's a massive, massive injustice that Billy Joe Saunders is travelling. No pun intended. And I do think it goes to show that he doesn't really, or isn't really a draw in the UK. He isn't really a draw in the UK. If he's a draw and you're a promoter and you promote him, there's no way on earth that you let him travel to Canada to fight David Lemieux. You just don't. You want to take every single advantage you can, and one of those advantages, your fighter fights at home. Your fighter, the world champion, fights at home. It was arguably Frank Warren's biggest name until Carl Frampton and James DeGill and fucking Lee Selby signed up. He fights at home. He really, really does. Because not only do you want to put him in a position where he's the favourite, you want to put him in a position where he wins, he looks impressive, and he gets possibly Canelo. That's what you want to do. And the fact he's having to travel, it is a big problem for me in this fight. Because if this fight was 50-50, which I kind of think it probably is, then those little advantages help, right? David Lemieux is going to have, what, 30,000-40,000 people screaming his name, and judges hear those things. And if it goes to points, which it might do, then judges hear those little kind of screams every time David Lemieux lands, and, you know, nothing when Billy Joe lands, and those advantages count, right? I've looked at who I think wins this fight, and I'm still, as we are, what, 3 weeks away, I'm still very much undecided. I don't know why I've done that, like I've got to watch, I'm not got to watch. I don't know why I've done that, but you know what I mean. I'm still very much undecided. I'm still very much undecided. I don't think Billy Joe Saunders has been hurt as much in fights, but I do think that if David Lemieux tags him, it could be lights out. It really could be lights out. I don't think this is a boxer versus puncher scenario. I really don't think this is boxer versus puncher. I think David Lemieux is a bit better than just a puncher, and I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is the greatest boxer either. He's a good boxer, but I don't think he's the greatest boxer. So a lot of people that's labeling this boxer versus puncher need to look a bit more into it. It's not that simple. Who's got the biggest win? You look on the record of David Lemieux, you look at people like Curtis Stevens maybe, Hassan Andam's on that record, even Rosado, who is quite tough, quite games on the record. Billy Joe Saunders, obviously Andy Lee, Chris Eubank Jr., and most recently William Monroe. So I think they're kind of 50-50, close. I don't think anyone's got that kind of standout on it. Obviously, a lot of people know David Lemieux from the GGG performance where he got stopped. Let me tell you now, that was GGG's best performance ever. I don't think I've ever seen GGG look that good, and I don't think it will be that good again. That was a fantastic performance from GGG where he literally won off a jab. And that was great. So there's no shame in David Lemieux losing to that Triple G that night. What does he take from that, right? He's been in there with Triple G. He's still winning after that Triple G performance. And he'll go in there thinking Billy Joe is no Triple G. I don't think Billy Joe is as good a boxer as Triple G. He definitely doesn't hit as hard as Triple G. And he doesn't have the fear factor that you get when you're fighting Triple G. So he'll look at all those things. On Billy Joe Saunders' side, Billy Joe Saunders will look at it and think I'm the better boxer of the two, which he probably is. I'm unbeaten. I think unbeaten fighters do go in there with that kind of confidence. And I think Billy Joe, under the Ingle camp, looks like he might be getting in better shape, right? I think he's starting to live the life a bit. And I think most young boxers, it takes them a while to realise that it is important to stay in tremendous shape. Maybe not as good as Chris Eubank's shape, but regardless, there's no point blowing up in between fights. I think he's trying to kind of temper that a bit. He did look good against William Monroe. William Monroe is a definite top 10 middleweight, and he kind of just made him look really shit. So he'll take pride of that performance. But it's going to be tough. Going to Canada, it's a tough ask. It really is. I mean, if this fight's in England, if this fight's in any stadium in England, I favour Billy Joe. This fight being in Canada, I favoured Lemieux just. It's almost like 51-49 in Lemieux's favour. If this fight was in the UK, it'd almost be like 55-45 in Billy Joe's favour. So I think Billy Joe fighting away just swings it to David Lemieux's side for me, just. So I'm going for David Lemieux to beat Billy Joe on points. I don't think he'll knock out Billy Joe. I'm going for him to beat Billy Joe on points. And that'd be a big shame if it happens. It'd be a big shame because I think it'll be a long road back to get into those mix of those fights with the likes of Danny Jacobs and Triple G and Canelo. You keep that title, then there's a big chance for the Danny Jacobs fight happening. Obviously, Eddie Hearn will be knocking down Frank Warren's door for that fight. And Canelo wants a title as well. And GGG wants to clean up. So you keep winning those big money fights for those three. You lose, and then you it's a long way back. It really is. So I hope Billy Joe does win, but I think David Lemieux could nick it. But let me know what you think. Peace.